My name's Amy Defoe. I'm a lead science teacher with the program here, and I have been here for over 12 years.
My name is Sarah Weber, and I teach mostly electives as well as English and experiential learning. So I teach a lot of your career developments, child developments, and the experiential learning is a program where we take your work experience and give you credit for that as well.
And my name is Matthew Kaye. I teach mostly some math and some social studies, and I've been here for almost 2 years. Well, obviously here everything's, online. You're working most likely asynchronously. You can chat with us usually via the chat app. I used to get notifications with mine, whenever I'd have a student chat with me, or sometimes via email. They can also schedule Calendly appointments with us, if they want to talk with us. That's another thing they can do. But a lot of it is a lot more asynchronous, where they're doing a lot of the work on their own.
What I love about the program is that it is definitely there to fit the students' needs for sure because of the asynchronous learning. And we as the teachers are able to give them help in all different areas. So we can reach out to them via email, the grad chat, like you explained, Matthew. They also have their academic coaches that can help out. We have tech support that's available around the clock. Uh, Also their counselors, and then they do have the local meetups for certain individuals as well. So I think that's huge support versus just your traditional online school.
I'll add to that I think the way that our courses are written is the curriculum is designed that the courses are more condensed than I think they would have in a normal brick and mortar setting. And so the students, they're getting exactly what they need to get their standards. With kind of, I don't want to say without having all the fluff or having all the other things that they might have in a different program outside of ours, but I've heard from many students that talk about how they just really like the condensedness of our programs, that each lesson gives you exactly to the point what you need to know what the objective is, what the standard is. Um, and they can get through that material and get that required credit that they need.
Well, I do know that quizzes are all auto graded, and as a teacher, we don't have the rights to do anything with the quizzes as far as grading those. But when it comes to your traditional assignments, we do get those, and we do put comments on. It could be every question or specific questions or in general altogether how their assignment was. But what I love to do is add my own personal comments as far as things that I found interesting or things that I feel that they can work on, but always something positive and also some constructive criticism so that way they can continue to do well as they turn in their assignments. I like to like actually mention something that they mentioned in their work so that way they know I'm actually reading it
Mhm.
and they can I can, kind of relate to them in that way.
I also think like as teachers in our content areas, we get um, kind of specialized in the actual teacher graded activities that we do have. And so then when we are providing that feedback with students, we see where students struggle in an activity because we've seen the activity multiple times and we kind of get an idea of what they might have a problem with, or be able to highlight something that they did really, really well on. And so and also in that feedback, we can provide, resources to a student if they might need those to make it, more specialized to them as a student. But I do like what Sarah said, like anytime a student shares something like personal about them or an interest of theirs, I think highlighting that in their feedback or in a chat with them um, has been really beneficial for both of us and for all of us.
Definitely for technical issues, tech support, academic coaches. Sometimes they'll come to me saying, "Hey, I need an extra day to finish stuff," and I have to say, "Well, I can't grant you that. I mean, that has to go to your academic coach." But that's probably the biggest one.
Also, the meetups are another great way that students can get support. I like to use meetups to kind of help students kind of prepare like a schedule of making sure they're logging in, finding that time of, like you would say, it's like, oh, this is my class time, where they can go to that meetup and, you know, log in, they can get questions answered if they need, but it also provides them kind of like with the schedule of, this is a good time for me to consistently log in, do a lesson, get through a unit. So I think that's helpful for students, supportive.
Yeah, and then I agree with all that. And I like to use the grad chat because you get, if you're on it and you can catch them at the same time, it's great because you can literally have conversation in real time instead of waiting for that lag of, you know, is she there? Am I there?
Mhm.
He or her and versus myself. But if you can get them in grad chat and you can stay consistent with looking at that, I think it's really great to have like a continuous conversation to answer their question quickly. And what's great too is that they have tech support, but so do we. So we can always run and ask a question to tech support really quickly on the sidelines and get that answer to also help the student without them having to go through a middle person as well. We can help them out with that so they don't have to have one more thing added to their list. I think that's what the program's really been really good at lately as well, is getting that extra support that teachers need as well that we can help the student with.
Does
Yeah, there
anyone,
is like a 24 all day homework help. Yeah, it's supposed to be like an online help center for students. So it's a service that we use where a student, you know, if they have a question and then, you know, maybe it's the middle of the night in some time zone that's just not working effectively for a student and teacher, that they can go and get like a tutor is there to help them answer a question or walk them through an activity.
They have to be disciplined. They have to be, you know, ready to work independently, you know, without somebody, you know, micromanaging them, being on their case. That's really the biggest thing, you know. They need to be independent and responsible.
Yeah, I agree. Definitely time management skills. They have to make sure that they have those, and if not, really practice them because it is critical with an online class. Setting goals. So whether it's, you know, making sure they have so many assignments done either per day or per week, or reading through lessons, reading through rubrics, whatnot. But getting goals set will definitely help. Being able to communicate through writing is I think a really big way to be successful with online school because we don't have real-time conversations all the time. So being able to communicate through writing, I think will help a lot. And so if they can get what they need out via that way, that helps. And then also reading the directions and through the rubric is huge because a lot of times students will just answer the question based on what they feel is the answer, but they're not reading the rubric and therefore they're missing points. So if they can read the rubric and then just answer per what the rubric is asking for that question, then that really helps them keep their points up to get the credits to pass for each assignment. And then that way it helps them get through each one without having to redo and pass the class for the first time and not have to worry about redoing anything.
I'd say having that schedule of consistency, helping them stay on track is huge, and finding a system that works for them uh, will help them be successful in the course. Another thing is that being able to reach out if you do have a question or you're unsure of something would help a student be successful in our program. You know, so that they're not getting kind of stuck or they're feeling unmotivated. Being able to reach out, it would be a great skill for students to have to be successful, get their questions answered.
That's a great one because really all it takes is a question and then they can get them back on the right track or give them the motivation they need. Whereas, you know, if they don't say anything, they might not finish. And that's just because they didn't have either the confidence or
Yeah.
the courage to do it. And so just getting that alone is a big step.